My name is John. I am the CEO of Saturday Kids. I'm also a co-founder of Collision 8, a collaborative innovation workspace. I run a couple of micro funds that invest in startups both in Southeast Asia and in the US. That ability to connect to entrepreneurs, I think it's a really valuable, maybe not skill, but it's a useful trait to have. Because when I look at my best investments versus my worst investments, one key difference I think is how much of a relationship I have with the entrepreneur. The really good entrepreneurs are probably not the ones who are at every tech conference. They are probably spending 15, 16 hours a day working away, chipping away at whatever problem they're trying to solve. It's this personal relationship with entrepreneurs that I guess gives you an edge as an investor. You'll be the first person they approach when they're starting their new thing, because there's an inherent level of trust and respect. I think to be a good investor, whether as an angel or as a professional VC, just having that ability to connect with founders is really useful. There are a couple of ways. One is you join a VC fund as an associate or as an analyst, right? Guys who are fresh out of college who join as analysts and associates and they work their way up. I personally believe that to be a good VC, you need to have the startup experience, right? If you haven't done it yourself, or if you haven't gone through this pain and the sorrow of being an entrepreneur, then it's really hard to empathize and it's really hard to understand what a founder is going through. The best VCs are probably the ones who have been through that difficult period and therefore are able to make that connection with a founder, right? And I think on the other side of the table, founders also, if they have a choice of who to take money from, they will choose the VCs that have the experience and the credentials, not just because that experience can help their startup, but also because as individuals, the founder can probably relate to an ex-entrepreneur VC better than somebody who has never been in the trenches, right? So that's one route. And then the other way to invest is start with your own money, right? You don't have to write $1 million checks. You can write very, very small checks and start making a few investments. The downside to that approach is that as an individual, you have a limited pool of funds you set aside for high risk investments like angel investing. And because that pool of funds is limited, you will not be able to get a portfolio of startups. So basically, if you don't have a portfolio, then the risk of losing everything in that pool of money you set aside for startup investing is very high. So I think you do need to diversify in order to hedge your risk, especially with tech investing. So a third way is to be invested in a fund, right? I mean, every fund raises money externally, whether from institutions or from individuals. So if you have some money you want to invest in tech startups, but you don't have enough to build a portfolio, then maybe a way to do that is to invest in a fund that will naturally have a portfolio. Entrepreneurship is really hard. I think one of the first questions you need to ask yourself is, are you building a lifestyle business or are you building something that is scalable, or that you want to scale and that you want to grow into a decent sized company. So a lot of entrepreneurs, I guess, when they start, A, they don't realize how hard entrepreneurship is, and B, they don't realize that actually what they are trying to build is a lifestyle business, which, you know, if it works out, can be profitable and sustain their lifestyle. But a lifestyle business is not something that a VC will want to back. So just having that clarity on what you're trying to achieve. You know, are you trying to build the next Facebook, or are you trying to build a business that would, you know, let you live in Bali 6 months of the year, right? So knowing that, I think is important. And I think the second thing is, whatever type of startup or business you want to build, just know that starting out is the easy bit, but keeping it going is really hard. We often glamorize entrepreneurship and the entrepreneur lifestyle, and obviously in the papers, you know, we talk about Mark Zuckerberg much more than the 1,000 other entrepreneurs who failed before and after him, right? The real entrepreneurs need to realize that when they make that decision to be an entrepreneur, it is a lot of work, a lot of pain, almost all consuming, right? When you run your own business, you know, you're never not thinking about it. It's a full-time job and then some. So unless you are mentally prepared for that struggle and for that all-consuming, you know, lifestyle of never not working, then perhaps entrepreneurship is not for you.